Hello everyone, another Trey here, and welcome to episode 24 of my modded Let's Play for version 1.21. Today we're going to be working on an animal farm. We're going to be building it right here. I cleared out a bunch of space in our spawning room here. This is going to be a sheep farm as the first animal farm that we're going to make. So let's go ahead and get started on this. I already cleared out the space. This is just Luminax blocks, some blue ones and some yellow ones. I thought it made a pretty cool effect to make it look like we're actually outside. The fences here are to keep the sheep from eating the grass that's underneath these, that's on these dirt blocks. That way the grass continually spreads into the inner part here where the sheep will be, and they don't eat up all the grass and are just stuck in here with a bunch of dirt blocks and don't make any more wool. So in order to get this guy going, what we're gonna need is, first of all, we're gonna need to seal the sheep in. So let's go ahead and get some glass. I think I already put the recipe in here for ethereal glass. So let's go ahead and get, I think 24 is going to do it, because we'll need the 25 for the space minus the one for where the machine's going to go. So let's go ahead and just fill this in so our sheep can't escape. And then the next thing we're going to need is the machine to actually shear the sheep. So Industrial Foregoing has a really cool machine for taking care of animals called the Rancher. So we're going to go ahead and actually, well, I don't think we're going to need many of these. So I think we're just going to make one. We're not actually going to teach our system how to make them. So let's go ahead and make 2 of these guys and then make the rest of it automatically. And then we should be able to just pop this guy out of here. And that's going to get us our Rancher. And then the Rancher, I think if we put it like that, this is the side that's going to take care of the animals. So this guy is also going to need some power. I already cleared this space out a little bit. He's going to need power, and he's going to need somewhere to drop his drops. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a drawer. The only thing this is going to produce is going to be wool. So let's go ahead and just get a drawer that we have sitting in here. Stick this right there. This is going to be for wool. So let's go ahead and pull all our wool out from over here. Do we have our key? We're going to need that. Let's get this out of the way. Take this down to 0 and then doot and doot. And now we have all of our wool on us, hopefully. Yep. That can all go in this drawer right here. We should have some stuff on us, hopefully. We have an energy peer-to-peer tunnel. And we're also going to need an ME storage bus. So that can go back in here now. And then we're going to need the storage bus here. And then the peer-to-peer tunnel is going to provide power to the machine. So that can go there. And then we'll connect those 2 up, come down here, and then just bring this over here to our system. Cool. And then we're using 3 channels there. I think that's all we're using. No, we're using 5 channels total on this line, which is fine because we can use up to 8. And then if it becomes more than that, we can always change it up to dense cable to do 32 channels. Yeah, so we should be good there. The next thing that we're going to need is, if you look inside Industrial Foregoing machines, most of them have a working area, and you can show that by clicking this. So right now, if there were sheep in here, they would not get sheared unless they walked up into where this purple is. So they have to be standing on this block. So we're going to expand that area. In order to do that, we're going to need an item from Industrial Foregoing called, I want to say range add-ons. Oh yeah, I already stuck that in there. So let's go ahead and look at the recipe for that. So it's again made in the dissolution chamber. It's got lapis, some latex, some glass panes, and then some redstone, and that'll get us our tier 2. Basically, for the range upgrades for these, it's going to expand the radius of the working area by whatever the tier number is. So the block in the middle is the rancher, and then it expands it by 2 on each side, which will make a 5x5 radius. So let's go ahead and take this guy and put him in here. And now it should perfectly fit this 5x5 area, and any sheep that are inside of here will get sheared. There's no power there yet because we did not actually load the channel. So we have to use our memory card. Go over to this guy, right click so that he remembers that channel. The other side is where the power is going in. And now we should be having power go into this machine, and we do. Cool. So we should be all set up except for the fact that we need actual sheep to shear. So, well, we're going to use our creature catcher from Just Dire Things because it's really awesome. But we're also going to make a new item while we're doing industrial foregoing. It's called a creature catcher, not a creature catcher. It's called, that's what the Dire Things is. It's called a mob imprisonment tool. Imprisonment. So let's go ahead and make, oh, that's right. We're doing recipe. Did we have a section for industrial foregoing? Yeah, we did. So let's go ahead and make like 3 of these. Sure. And they work pretty much just like the Just Dire Things mob or creature catcher, except you don't throw them. Let's go ahead and sleep and then take a trip over to Spawn Village. Yeah, but you don't throw them. You just right click on entities. So the Just Dire Things one is actually a little bit better because when you have an entity like this guy or a trader or anything with a GUI that when you right click it, it opens up this. You can't actually right click with the mob imprisonment tool. Otherwise, it's just going to open up this. If I shift into it, nope. Yeah, but with the mob imprisonment tool or with the creature catcher, I can actually do that, which is kind of funny. So I'll just dig back up there. So yeah, let's go to Spawn Village. See if we can find us some sheep. There's some. All right. And then we got a couple of these. We got a cool rainbow there. Not really showing up properly though. So now that we have that, we should be able to just go back home. And then go into our little sheep farm. And as soon as we put this down, this machine should shear him. And we go from... we also have to set this up. So these guys are a little confusing sometimes to set up their outputs. So it looks like we would want to send it out the back, right? Because this is the front. But really what we want to do is look for the direction. So if we're facing this way towards that, we're facing north, which means we're actually going to want the north output to be the one that pushes, and then it's going to push that into here, which it just did. And we can put our other sheep in here. They'll all get sheared. Cool. And we'll continually get wool. They'll keep eating their grass and providing more wool. We're also going to go ahead and grab some wheat. Where's the wheat? Way up there. We'll just grab a stack of it. And this will allow us to expand our sheep population. Cool. Every once in a while, we'll just come in here with some wheat and increase our sheep population. That'll increase the speed at which we get wool. So that's going to be good to go. So that's automated wool. Do we have 962? Do we have actually access to that through the system? Let's just double check. Yep, we do. So we're good there. The next thing we're going to want to get into is a cow farm, because in order to make the next tier of industrial foregoing machines, we're going to need to be able to make simple machine frames instead of pity machine frames. And those, nope, sorry, not simple. We're going to need advanced machine frames. Those are going to need pink slime. And pink slime is made in a mob slaughter factory, and killing mobs or animals. We're going to go ahead and kill cows because I think do pink slime, and we say, how do we get pink slime? It's going to say with a mob slaughter factory. Is that all it's going to tell us? I thought it was going to tell us what provides the most. I guess not. We're going to do cows. So the way that I think I'm going to do it is I'm going to clear out a space here to make a big cow farm. And inside that cow farm, we're going to grow the cows from babies to adults. Or we're going to breed the cows into babies, or the babies are going to grow up to adults, and then the adults are going to get slaughtered in the mob slaughter factory. Cool. And that's going to provide two things for us. That's going to provide pink slime and liquid meat. And I think that's why we do cows, because the cows provide liquid meat. We can also do the mob slaughter factory with actual mobs, but I don't think they give liquid meat. Maybe it's the other way around. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this area prepared for the cow farm, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this will probably do for a starting point. I do want to get 2 more pieces of grass. Did this guy go? There we go. And this doesn't really do anything. Obviously, cows don't need grass. It just kind of looks nice. So we'll fill that in like that. And then we're going to need a way to divide up the cows. I think we're going to do fences like this. And actually, we're going to have to do these too high because we're going to put machines here. And the cows can jump up on the machines, even though they can't jump up on the fences. So it is going to have to be too high so that when we put the machine in, there'll be a piece of fence above that. So we can actually take this out and take this out. We're going to need 3 machines. We're going to need, actually, so we're going to need a breeder so that the cows in this spot will make baby cows. And then we'll need a mover, which will move baby cows to this spot. And then we'll need a second mover, so 2 movers to move the ones that grow into adults from this spot over to here. And then we'll need the mob slaughter factory. So breeder, 2 movers, mob slaughter factory. Let's get it done. So if we look in here and we do breeder, it's not called a breeder. Is it called like a feeder? Animal feeder is what we're looking for. So we're going to need a bunch of stuff for this. These golden carrots should be pretty easy. Let's get 2 of those. The golden apple is pretty easy. Let's get our pity machine and let's get an iron gear. This one. And that'll get us our animal breeder. We're also going to need 2 of those movers that I was talking about. What are they called? Is it a transfer? So many machines in this mod. Sometimes it's a pain to find what you're looking for. All right, so animal baby separator is actually what we want. Let's go ahead and tell the system to make these couple things that we need. Animal baby separator, we need another golden carrot. So let's make sure this is actually the guy that we need for both spots. So animal baby separator, we wanted to move the babies from here over to here. How do you tell which way this goes? Oh yeah, so you can tell this to move babies or move adults. We're going to tell it to move babies. We actually want this the other way. Did I put it? Yeah. So we wanted to take the babies from here and move them into here. We're going to put another one right there. We're also going to need a feeder, which we will put right here, which should be correct. Yes. So let's show that area. And we're going to need another mover and a mob slaughter factory. So let's do another, nope, not a breeder, animal baby separator. Those items going again. And then we need our carrot, baby separator, and then we need a mob slaughter factory, which is right here. We'll make all the things that we need automatically. You need 2 swords and 2 axes. Not going to ask questions about why. And then it'll be that. And then we'll go back over. So I think, was it like this? Oops, that's our slaughter factory. Oh, of course we got it wrong. This is like the one machine that goes that way. Okay, and then we're going to put our mob slaughter factory here. This spot just needs closed off, so we're going to need 48 and 25 of the glass. You know what? We could probably actually just do regular glass for this. We don't really need to get in there. And I don't like how these textures are like obscure our vision. There used to be versions of this mod with the ethereal glass that didn't do this. I'm not really sure why they made it this way now, but we'll just do it like this. Get our chisel. We are going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 of the upgrades. Okay, so let's get 4 of our add-ons, our tier add-ons. That might actually take a little bit. Let's go take a look at how our system handles this. So, yep, it is crafting them one at a time. I know we had like a tank down here that we were letting fill up. And it looks like it may have filled up. And now we're using it, but we're out of logs over here. So really, do we have any? Oh, we do still have these. Let's go ahead and put some more logs in here. Those run. Are we done here? Yep, looks like we are. Let's go get our upgrades. So that will make sure that covers all of that. This will probably put our upgrades in there. And we just want 1. Make sure that covers all of that. So these 2 are good. We can close this off. This guy needs 1. And yep, he's in the right place. And then our mob slaughter factory. And he is also covering that. So we're good there. All right, next step is we need to get power to all these guys. So if we go in the floor here, right? Yeah, and then it's a 3x3. Problem is we're not going to be able to see when we get to that last one. So let's go ahead and hop down through here. Let's make this one. Go down here. Then we should be able to see when we hit that one. Wow, that was a lot of coal. Okay, where is this guy? All right, so was that the last one? Yep. We don't actually need one there, but we are going to need to go Here. That there? Nope, it's there. So this guy can stay here. This is going to need wheat fed into it. We are going to need more cables. Luckily, we have tons of wool now to make cables with. This is going to need... Questioning how I want to do this now, because we're going to need 4 power guys, right? Well, actually, we go 3 in here. That should be the middle of the 5x5, right? And then we go here until we hit this. That should be the machine. Yep, so that's the baby separator. And then we go 5 more this way until we hit that other side. That should be the other baby animal separator. Okay. Then we're going to need a bunch of cables. So let's see if we can just make like a stack of cables. Can we just make 100? Yeah, let's make 100. We're also going to need one peer-to-peer bus. And we're also going to need 2... No, we're going to need an output bus. Export bus. And we're also going to need a storage bus. Cool. So we got our cables. We got our peer-to-peer tunnel for power. We got our export bus. And we've got our ME storage bus. We are starving. Did we run out of cheeseburgers? Oh my gosh, we did. Let's get some cheeseburgers going. Can we do 100 of these? No, not nearly enough milk. Can we do 30? Heck yeah. Okay, give us some cheeseburgers, please. Take those for now. Okay. Our color should return to normal. I don't know if our game bugged out, but it doesn't look like our color is coming back, and the color is usually gone because we're starving. So let me go ahead and restart this, and I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. Now, let's go ahead and get our stuff ready to go. We are going to need to turn this peer-to-peer tunnel into power one, like that. All right. Then if we go down here, there's our cables. We'll run our cables down this way some more. Then this is an animal feeder. We're going... We have to get power into him, and we also need to get wheat into him so that he can feed the cows. So how are we going to get in 2 sides of this is the question. I think I have an idea. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to our crafting system. We're going to get some conduits. So conduits from... Oh, you know what? We didn't teach our system how to make these, did we? We're going to have to do that very soon, because I really like the conduits from Ender.io, because they can go... Multiple can be in the same block space. So, do we actually have any conduits on us? Yes, we have item conduits. We have... Do we have any power conduits? I see the cables from power, but I do not see conduits. That's because they're right here on us. So we do have those. Let's go ahead and throw that in there. So this is the plan. I think what we do is we run this cable right past here. And we, but oh, you know what? Our storage bus has to be directly on it. So that's not gonna really help us. Unless, another plan. Oh, you know what? The storage bus doesn't even go on that one. So we don't have to worry about that for right now. We want output of wheat. Do we have like a tiny chest or anything? Like just an inventory that will hold one inventory slot worth of stuff? Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. We're not going to use the export bus. We're going to use the interface because I can show some of the other functionality of the interface. So let's go ahead and make one of these guys. And this will solve all of our problems. So we're going to put the interface right here. We're going to chip another hole through here as well. Because we're going to put our... I don't need the storage bus right now. We're going to put our peer-to-peer tunnel. We put a piece of cable here. Yep. We're going to put our P2P tunnel here. We are going to need to load the settings. So where's our memory card? Right here. Loaded that. Then we should be able to tell this ME interface that we want it to hold wheat. How much does this hold? So this will actually fill up with wheat unless we put something else in here, or no, that won't work either. So we're gonna have to put something else in here. Let's go ahead and put these laboratory blocks in here because it doesn't have anything that it can do with those, and that'll just leave one free space to put wheat in. Then if we go ahead and get our item conduits, we should be able to go like this. We can do extract always active, and then he should... Oh, this one has to be set to insert. And yes, now he's going to fill up slowly with wheat, and he's going to use that wheat to feed cows as soon as he has power, which is going to come from here. Yep, so he's got power now, all from one side of the block. Cool. Then we're also going to run... This guy doesn't have an inventory. He doesn't need to have anything inside of him. He just needs power. So, and this guy is just going to move adults. So we'll set that. And then we're going to run the power this way so that these guys have power. Cool. So far, so good. Then... Let's close this one up because I don't think we need to get in here anymore. That section at least. This guy is going to be outputting 2 liquids. He's also going to need power. So if we go back down here and we go to center of the grass, which should be 3 blocks in, right? And then we turn this way. Should see the mob slaughter factory right there. And then we're going to go ahead and run our power this way. Now he has power. He is going to need some place to put his fluids, though. Do we want to put his fluids down here, or do we want to be able to see them up here? I can put a tank there and a tank there. we'd need to put, and I could just put one output here. Let's see what that looks like. Do we have any conduits, like fluid conduits? I thought we did. If you double tap this and type in what you're looking for, it will actually highlight everything. Yes, we have fluid conduits in our inventory. So if we put this guy here, do this, extract, always active, and then we get 2 tanks. Should probably make jumbo tanks. Make 2 of these. I think we used the wrong kind of glass when we made the recipe for these, because I think it just used the quartz glass to make those, and I don't think that's necessary. So where are our jumbo tanks? So our 4 singularity tanks. So maybe it was the singularity. Yeah, we used quartz glass to make our singularity tanks. And I don't think we needed to. No, I think it's just any glass. So really we should take this recipe out and fix this. Let's get rid of that and just do regular glass. There we go. So now it's just using regular glass. That back. And where did I put that tank? Right there. Okay, so did we make our jumbo tanks? Yes, we did. Okay, we got 2 jumbo tanks. Let's go ahead and pop one of these here. We want to make sure this is an insert. And this is an export, always active. It's going to be a while till we can actually test this. We are going to put another one here. Let's see. We're going to need to put a hole here. Because we're going to need to put two buses, 2 storage buses down there. I also just realized that won't work. Because you can't have 2 fluids go through this guy. So I can either, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this. No, because they need, these tanks need to have 2 sides attached, right? I need, yeah, so what we actually need to make are, there's another tier of fluid conduits in Ender.io. It's called, where are the fluid conduits? Ender fluid conduits. These will allow multiple, that just takes some vibrant alloy. Okay, that's not bad. We can make vibrant alloy. It will allow multiple fluids to go through the same tract at like infinitely. So let's go ahead and can we make these? No, we need the vibrant alloy, which means we're going to need some alloy. 2, 3, 4, and then ender pearls. 4. And then will that let us make a couple of these conduits? That should be plenty. Go ahead and get rid of that. We can throw this. We don't need any of this stuff. I don't need that. We can put this guy down here. Okay. So now that we have ender fluid conduits, that we can put here. And then we want to make sure this is an input. We want to make sure that this is always active. Okay, so really what we need now is some cows. So let's go ahead and close this up for a second. this up. That's already closed up. Let's get out our little imprisonment tools. Someone's jamming over here. Oh, yeah. And we just got to find some cows. And home we go. Okay, we do need to get in here one more time. Just to put these cows in here. We're going to automatically breed. They're going to make baby cows. Baby cows automatically get pushed over here. I actually want to turn this off. Run with no redstone signal. Run with redstone signal. So this should not run because I want to actually get a couple more cows. All right, now we got lots of cows. These cows should all breed. As soon as they do, they'll pop over here. I need 2 samples of liquids. So we want this both to be set to output on the north side. Oops. That. That. Then they'll end up in this conduit. One will go here. The other one will not be able to go in because you can only have one fluid in a tank. And then I will put the other one down. Let's see. I need a storage bus. Going to have to connect these guys up. We might have to temporarily... Oh, you know what? We are going to have to filter these. Just in case one empties out. We don't want the other fluid going in. So, let's get some filters. Just in case, while we wait for those cows to grow up. So, let's do... Get another fluid filter. That one will be liquid meat. Cool. Now it should be happy. That one's the meat. This one, do we have another tank? Yep. That there. We'll make this an insert, and this one is the pink slime. Cool. We do have to get back down here, so let's punch a hole in the floor again. Let's get a liquid storage bus, or a storage bus. That, and connect that up. Should be happy now. Now, the next question is, how many channels do we have? We're at 5 of 8. Here we're at 7 of 8. So we're real close to being full. There we're at 8 of 8 somehow. Wondering if everything over there is even running. This one is at 7. Five, and there's 3. So that's exactly at 8. So this actually needs to be a dense cable at this point. So let's go back over here. See if any of our cows are grown yet. Nope, not yet. We get some wheat, we can make them grow faster, right? Is that a vanilla thing? Not good with vanilla things. Yep, that works. Oh, these guys take a long time to grow up, I just realized. They just ate a whole stack of wheat, and they're all still babies. Okay, well, we're going to let them grow up. Close up our holes everywhere. This should be a working system at this point. We're just waiting for the babies to come in so that we have access to the meat and the pink slime. Let's go ahead and close that up. So yeah, that's going to be a build for the day, guys, I think. I think I'm going to cut here and let some of these cows grow up, and then we will kick this on and see what happens when we get our fluids. And then we'll call it an episode for the day. So I'll be right back. All right, guys. So we do have some adult cows moving over to this side now. There are a bunch more babies still growing up. Our cows are still breeding. We can actually stick more cows in there to make this go faster. But for now, we do have some to experiment on. So let's go ahead and kick this on. Let's see, redstone mode ignored. So now it will run. That bar will go down. When it hits 0, we should see a cow die. I guess they just disappear. Yep, they all go away. And we do see we have a little bit of liquid meat. And we have 1 bucket of pink slime, which isn't a lot considering we just killed like 5 cows. But it is enough to get us going for what we want to work on next episode. Next episode, we're going to be going back to enchanting. We're going to be making a machine that's going to help us manipulate the enchantments that we get from our apotheosis setup. And then after we do that, we will be continuing down the line of getting more powerful enchantments. So thanks for joining me for this one today, guys. If you like the episode, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more. And thanks for coming along. Have a good one.